There's a military scenario that analysts are talking about more and more. Not an invasion of Taiwan, but a blockade. Instead of thousands of troops storming the beach, the strategy would be something very different. Warships, missile systems, aircraft patrols, and a ring around the island. Cut Taiwan off from the world and forces political surrender without ever landing troops. But here's the real question. Is China actually preparing for that kind of operation? Or are the recent military exercises just political messaging? In the last several years, China has dramatically increased the scale of military exercises around Taiwan. Large naval formations, air patrols crossing the median line of the Taiwan Straits, and missile launches that have flown over the island itself. Some of these drills look surprisingly similar to something very specific. Encirclement. Instead of attacking Taiwan directly, forces position themselves around the island. North, south, east, and west. And I got backwards look at it. A pattern that works a lot like rehearsal for cutting off shipping routes, which leads to the first big question. Is China preparing for a blockade scenario? Taiwan is not just any island. It sits in one of the busiest shipping corridors on Earth. A massive percentage of global trade moves through nearby waters, and Taiwan produces a high portion of the world's advanced semiconductors. If shipping stopped moving around Taiwan, the global economy would feel it almost immediately. Energy supplies, electronics manufacturing, automotive production, all of it could be disrupted, which means a blockade could create enormous pressure without firing a first shot. Here's where analysts start looking closely at China's military modernization. Over the past 2 decades, China has built the largest navy in the world by ship count. Destroyers, frigates, missile boats, and long-range anti-ship missile systems designed to push other navies away. On top of that, China has invested heavily in what military planners call anti-access systems. Weapons meant to control large areas of oceans and airspace, which raises the next key question. Is this military buildup designed for invasion or control of the surrounding seas? A full amphibious invasion of Taiwan would be incredibly difficult. Rough seas, mountainous terrains, heavy defenses, and the possibility of international intervention. But a blockade is different. You don't land troops. You only need control the water and air around the island. If a ship cannot enter and aircraft cannot safely land, Taiwan becomes economically isolated, and pressure might build over time. But there's a huge complication. Taiwan does not exist in a vacuum. The United States maintains a long-standing policy of helping Taiwan defend itself, and multiple regional powers, including Japan, would be watching closely. If a blockade started, the questions become extremely dangerous. Would other countries try and break it? Or would they treat it as a gray zone conflict short of war? And that leads the third big question. Could a blockade trigger a larger global confrontation? Well, that's what Kennedy was worried about in Cuba. Taiwan imports most of its energy: oil, natural gas, coal. That means shipping lanes are critical. A blockade could threaten those supply lines quickly. But Taiwan has been preparing as well, stockpiling fuel, strengthening coastal defenses, and expanding its own missile capabilities. The idea is simple: make a blockade attempt extremely costly. At the same time, Chinese leaders often describe Taiwan as a core national issue, and military exercises around the island have become more frequent. Each drill sends a signal to Taiwan, to the United States, and to the world. But interpreting these signals is difficult. Expertise can be political theater or rehearsals. Right now, analysts usually discuss three possible paths. One, straight quote continues. Two, China attempts a rapid invasion. Or three, a blockade or quarantine strategy designed to pressure Taiwan over time. Each option carries enormous risks, but the blockade scenario is increasingly part of a serious strategic discussion. And that's why analysts are watching these exercises so closely, because military drills sometimes tell us something important. They show what planners are thinking about. They reveal what capabilities are being practiced, and sometimes they show what could happen next. But for now, one question remains open. Is China preparing for war or preparing for leverage? And with that, it's Scott 2028.